Hey guys, Brickset here, and today we're taking a look at the Tournament of Elements Legacy set. This was a January 2021 release, and it retailed for $30 in the United States. And I know I'm a little late on this, but I think this is a really interesting set, so I want to take a look at it. So here's everything you get in the set. You get 7 minifigures, which is a surprising number for a $30 set, and 4 of them are exclusive, which is kind of crazy. So taking a look at the main build of the set, it's kind of comprised of these 3 sections here. So we'll start over on the left. You have this little part that kind of swivels back and forth, and there's a little sort of thing that spins, I guess, and yeah, there you go. I don't know, just a little thing. And then over here is one of the more interesting things of this set for longtime Ninjago fans, and that is actually Klaus's spellbook. So this is pretty prominently featured in Season 4 Tournament of Elements, but we haven't gotten it in LEGO before, but we do now. So that is using a sticker, but that does look really, really nice on the front. And on the inside, there's another sticker showing the transformation spell. So this is a really, really cool thing to get. Totally unnecessary inclusion to this set, but I do really, really, really appreciate this. And that sits on a little stand right here that's pretty easy to remove, and that's built up pretty basic, but you do get those nice bracket pieces. And it actually works really, really nicely as a little book stand. In the middle section, there's kind of this weapons rack, and yeah, throughout this set, you get the sort of basic weapons pack that they introduced, I think in 2018, but you get it in green here, which I believe is new for January 2021. So you get some weapons, some swords, and all this stuff. And I think this is kind of supposed to represent Jade Blades from the season, though I guess these probably look the closest to Jade Blades, but the other stuff also kind of works, I guess. But it does kind of make for a nice accent color with the green in that set. And this is, again, pretty easy to remove and put back. Over on the right, there's a little crate with some roller skates in them. And this is just another reference to Season 4, because Chen really, really likes to roller skate. And one of the competitions in the Tournament of Elements was a roller derby. So that's a really nice reference. And those just go in the crate there. And you can put them on any figure or just leave them there if you want. But I do really, really like that reference. Then lastly, on the end, there's this little build for a tree or a bush or something. It's really, really low to the ground, just the way it's built. This is kind of the highest up it can go. Putting a minifigure next to it, it's really short, so I guess it kind of works more as a bush. So you can kind of angle that down or whatever. And that also is on a ball joint, so you can kind of move it in and out if you want. Moving up to the top, the left and right side are pretty identical. You have these really, really nice stickers on 2x6 tiles, which I don't remember these being in the show, but I do really like them. They're sort of the Anaconda logo and then 2 katanas in the background. So those look really, really nice. They add some nice detail. You got this nice railing here, and you're using that dragon hilt piece right there for the handles. You have these 2 like little pots. And actually in the one on the left, if you open it up, there is a little weapon inside from that weapon pack. And I believe that in the show, one of the Elemental Masters actually does find a Jade Blade sort of hidden in a pot. So that's a really, really cool reference there. Then in the center, there's some nice, decoration, some nice shapes built up around. And there's also this weapons rack, which again is pretty easy to remove. I'm just having some more swords and the other tiny, tiny knife almost. But yeah, just more weapons so you can have people fight. But that's it for the main build of the set. There are some smaller builds. The first one you get is this little spinner stick thing. These were introduced, I think, in 2017, 2018, somewhere in there. But we haven't seen them for a little bit. But basically, they kind of allow you... There's sort of a tire. There's some specialized pieces, but then there's a tire on the bottom, so you can sort of angle it and have this platform spin. So attaching a minifigure to it, you can sort of have them use spinjitzu or whatever. You also get this clear version of the Forbidden Spinjitzu summer 2019 tornado piece that they used in those sets. And you do get a piece on the bottom, so you can, that was pathetic. So you can have it spin. And of course you can still have a minifigure in there, though you might have to move the weapon out of the way or take it out. Okay, I'm not going to try, but alternatively, you could take this bottom piece off and then attach this to the little spinner thing, and you can have much more control over that. And this is a really cool feature, and it's a really kind of a genius design, just having a tire and then just sort of, you have to angle it a little bit, but I think you would kind of want that anyway. And it sort of does work if you have it kind of straight up and down too. It's probably not the best for that tire piece, but you can do it. But that works pretty well. But yeah, I don't know. These two builds feel like kind of an odd inclusion for this set. I guess they just needed to up the playability value of it. So they added that, because this is kind of a minifigure pack, and the building is very static. There's not a whole lot of play features, I guess. But yeah, this is a new color for this piece, and it almost works as like a Sensei Wu one. We did get a spinner for Sensei Wu back in the first round of Legacy sets, but I don't know. I think I kind of like this. I like this style better because it doesn't have the weird, like, obnoxious handle things on the top. And yeah, so I guess this is kind of the most accurate tornado piece that you could put Master Wu in and have him do Spinjitzu. So that's pretty nice. Or you could have this be Forbidden Spinjitzu. I don't know. You know, the possibilities are really endless. The last kind of build of the set is just the stand for the golden figure that's included in the set. For the 10th anniversary of Ninjago, they included golden versions of all the ninja in the different sets. So, yeah, there's a little build there. It's really basic, and that is a really nice print, 10 years of Ninjago. And, yeah, you just throw Golden Lloyd on there, and there you go. And now let's look at the minifigures. Starting off with Golden Lloyd, of course, you do get that stand, but you don't need it. He's got that shoulder armor piece that's been used since 2012, and it's nice to see it return here. Just holds two regular katanas in it, and yeah, he's got kind of a new hair piece with the dual molded bandana in it. You can see how that works, and that will be used later this year in the spring wave for the island, but they did introduce it here, I guess, technically. So it is new, but it won't be exclusive for very long. Then it's just the regular Lloyd face that we've seen forever. And removing the armor piece, you can get a better look at the printing on the front. And I do like how there's kind of the printed gold on gold. So if you get the right reflection, you can kind of see more detail. And the back, which is a really nice print that you'll never see if you have the armor on him. Next up, we have two more ninja, Jay and Kai. These are the Legacy 2.0 versions that they're using for Rebooted and, I guess, Tournament of Elements. And these are the fixed versions that say Master in the Ninjago language. There's another version of this torso that came in the last wave of Legacy sets that says Manter, but it's been fixed. Other than that, though, the torso is exactly the same. But I guess it is a little different. It used to say Manter, but they fixed it to Master now. Kai gets this little, I don't know, like scythe, but it looks like a toothpick or something. And then Jay gets some nunchucks, which is pretty proper for that figure. And yeah, same hair pieces that they've been using since the Ninjago movie. And there's a look at their angry faces or battle faces, and then their alternate faces, and some back printing there, which I do like, with their little sort of classic elemental logos on there. Next up, we have Izor, who they're kind of including in like every single set from this wave. That's season 4 based. I guess this was the chosen Anacondri warrior that they're just putting in all of the sets. Got the nice mohawk there. Got some nice facial printing. Looks pretty similar to the original one from 2015, but a little different. And he's got a little axe there. But yeah, the yellow on the torso could be a little darker, a little more saturated. printing a light color onto a dark piece. Just Lego seems to be struggling with that these days. But yeah, it looks better than I think some other times that they've done that, but it's still kind of jarring that that shade of yellow should be the same as like the arms and the head, but it's really not. So it almost doesn't look like that's his skin, but it's supposed to be. No alternate head because you'd see it. And yeah, that's kind of it for this guy. Then lastly, you have what might be the main draw of this set for a lot of people, including myself, and that is 3 Elemental Masters that we have not gotten in minifigure form before. We have Jacob, Bolobo, and Gravis. Jacob is the Master of Sound, Bolobo is the Master of Nature, and Gravis is the Master of Gravity. Jacob gets this white guitar that's supposed to be a sitar, but it kind of looks like a guitar in the show, so that's fine. That's a nice piece. Bolobo has his nature staff, I guess, and Gravis has these sort of purple energy discs because they didn't know how to represent gravity elsewhere. It's kind of interesting. They used the same technique to represent Neuro's power in a minifigure pack, so I guess, but they are different powers, but they were kind of translated the same way, so something to note. Taking those accessories off, you can get a better look at the figures. And yes, Jacob is using the short legs, so there's a little bit of a height difference there, which is pretty nice. I do like the torsos on all of these guys. The printing is actually different from what we saw in Tournament of Elements, and personally, I think that that's okay. These designs are a little more unique because for Tournament of Elements, they sort of just remixed existing prints from like minifigures at the time, but they kind of changed them up here, which I think gives all of these characters a little more personality. And of course, we have peeled Bolobo there. His face looks so weird without the hair. And you can see some back printing there, as well as his alternate face. Gravis also gets an alternate face where he is meditating or sleeping or something, and there's some back printing. And Jacob gets another alternate face where he's a little shocked, and there's some back printing there as well. All in all, these figures are really awesome. My only complaint is that Gravis could use some leg printing, but really it's not a big deal. So all in all, this set is pretty amazing. My personal favorite Ninjago season happens to be Season 4, and this is just a really, really nice representation of that. It's sort of a remake of the Dojo Showdown set, but it's just like a more accurate sort of part of Chen's palace, and it looks really, really nice. The setting is supposed to be, I guess, sort of the Jade Blade scene from the second episode of Season 4, especially having that sort of Jade Blade in the pot up here. That's really, really cool. And yeah, it's just awesome to see Lego giving us the Elemental Masters that we haven't gotten minifigures of yet. So the only one we're missing at this point is Camille. Every other Elemental Master has had a minifigure, and that's just really, really nice. And the fact that you get 3 of them kind of at once for $30, and then you get the Legacy Lloyd and the Chen Spellbook is great. Kai, Jay, and Izor come in a bunch of sets, but they're still great inclusions, and I don't really have any problem with them. And the little roller skate reference, that just made me smile. So yeah, Ninjago's kind of been knocking it out of the park with $30 sets recently. Last year we had the Gamers Market, which was sort of a minifigure pack. And this one kind of is. There's fewer figures here, but there's a much more substantial build, and I definitely like this set better than Gamers Market. Again, the only weird inclusions here are these. Again, the spinner and the spinner are just kind of weird inclusions. I guess they just kind of needed to I don't know, meet a playability quota or something. But they're fine. You know, it's not that many pieces, though I think maybe without them we could have seen this set be $25 instead of $30, which would have been nice. And really, I don't know. These are fine, but I'm never gonna use these. I'm just gonna remove them and maybe display it like this, and Lloyd probably would be displayed elsewhere with the other golden figures. But even this looks really, really fine. But the fact that we do get that Lloyd figure is really awesome. So yeah, I think you definitely should get this set if you're a fan of Ninjago. If you didn't like Season 4, then maybe you can pass. If you don't like the Elemental Masters, maybe you can pass. But if you do, I don't know, Season 4 seems to be a pretty popular favorite season, and it's just really cool that there's 4 exclusive figures in here. So yeah, it's going to do it for my review of Tournament of Elements. This is a fantastic set, and you are also fantastic. If you're not already subscribed, please consider hitting that subscribe button. It helps out the channel a lot. Leave a like, leave a comment, do whatever you want, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!